a story about a client of mine who we'll call Dvora. A couple of years ago, Dvora came to me for my one-on-one counseling for sugar-free recovery. Dvora is a classic example of a food addict. She is extremely intelligent. She is a very accomplished woman. She's a general manager of a mid-sized company. And she is very well educated. She's been educated in business and she actually trained in naturopathy, so she knows a thing or two about nutrition. And yet, Dvora was eating sugar like there's no tomorrow, and she is a type 2 diabetic. When she came to me and she finally agreed to check her fasting glucose, it was above 400 milligrams per deciliter. Her family physician wanted to hospitalize her, but her endocrinologist understood that she's beginning a program where she's changing her eating habits significantly and said, let's see what happens and let's try to do this outpatient with you at home. Well, within a few short weeks of really abstaining from sugary, starchy, ultra-processed foods and eating only real food, and of course in parallel changing that inner dialogue with all these harmful addictive foods, her blood sugar went down. It was already, after like 2 or 3 weeks, it was down to around 200, and her HbA1c started going down, and her blood sugar levels over the ensuing weeks began normalizing. After 3 months, Dvora was, by the way, Dvora did not have a weight problem, so weight loss here was not one of the goals, but she was feeling better. Her waist circumference had gone down. She was more energetic, and she was finally feeling in control of the food rather than food controlling her. And she was actually able to make decisions about eating that were aligned to her desires and her values and what she wanted for herself from a health level. After 3 months, I did recommend to Dvora that we keep some sort of a maintenance program to make sure, because relapse is a common part of the condition called addiction. And food relapse is more common because we live in such a toxic nutritional environment and we are so cued to this like eat me, drink me of these addictive foods. So it really can be, if getting into sugar-free recovery can be a challenge and can be hard because of our nutritional environment, maintaining can really sometimes be quite hard on our own without any outside help. But Dvora decided that she felt like she had really made a significant change, and she decided she wants to try it on her own, which many of my clients do, and they do very well. About a year later, I called Dvora to see how she's doing, because I was really curious how, if she had been managed to maintain her program or not. It might have been a little more than a year, maybe about a year and a half. And unfortunately, Dvora told me that actually just recently she went off the rails. She was back in the sugar and she stopped checking her blood glucose because she didn't really want to see what was there. And I offered her to come back maybe to to do some more counseling. And she said, I'll think about it. And I didn't hear from her again. First of all, I really, really pray for Dvora that she did do something about it. And she stopped thinking about it and really went and did something about it. Because I want to talk about this thinking about it. Are you in a situation like that now? Are you thinking about doing something to change significantly your eating habits because you feel like they're harming you? Maybe they're affecting your health if you're diabetic or if you're pre-diabetic. Maybe you're worried that you'll become diabetic because you know that your eating habits are not really what they should be. Maybe you feel like you're not in control of what you're eating and food is controlling you, and you're thinking about doing something about it. Maybe it's a weight issue and you feel like you're uncomfortable in a big body and you would like to lose some weight. I think this is a legitimate want, and you're thinking about doing something. Maybe it's all of them together. Well, this video is dedicated to you then. It is dedicated to those people who are thinking about doing something. If you're getting value from my content, I am so glad, and I'd like to ask of you a small favor. Every time even one person likes, comments, or shares on a video, it makes a huge impact to how much this video reaches more people. So thank you in advance for liking, commenting, and or sharing this video. We have this illusion that if we're thinking about it, in the meantime, while we're thinking, things are static. They're not changing. It's like basically I'm keeping the situation the same way it was. But in actuality, that is not true. Inaction costs more than action. This is a quote from Dr. Robert Lustig in his book Metabolical, which I love, and I so agree with that. We have to understand, people, that yes, to do something about it, to go into some kind of program that changes significantly the way you eat, many times it means a big investment, money, time, effort, and there will always be reasons why it's not a good time right now. But if you think that not doing anything doesn't cost you, then you are wrong. Inaction costs more. For example, especially people who are diabetic and are eating back poorly, well, why do I pray so much for Dvorah that she did find something to do and she's doing something about it, because diabetes can be a silent killer. Many times people only understand the harms of, for example, type 2 diabetes only after they start suffering complications, God forbid, like heart disease, blindness, loss of kidney function. And by then, actually, it's too late. As a matter of fact, when type 2 diabetes has been diagnosed, the harms have been begun already 20 years earlier. That's why I tell people who are interested in my program and they're pre-diabetic or they're at risk for type 2 diabetes, now is the time to do something. Not when you get diagnosed with diabetes, then it's already too late because the damage is done. But if somebody is pre-diabetic or at risk for diabetes, for example, a woman who was diabetic when she was pregnant, gestational diabetes, or somebody who has diabetes type 2 diabetes in their family, or their blood work shows that they're pre-diabetic or fatty liver or metabolic disease, now is the time to act. Now is the time to take action, because inaction will cost you more. Even if action has a price to it, you have to understand that inaction also has a price, and many times that price is higher. The reason why I am talking about this now is because for many people, especially people who are Jewish and traditional, this is the beginning of a new year. It's like the Chagim are over, the high holidays are coming to an end. We're now in the middle of Sukkot, the holiday of Sukkot. We're soon finished. People are starting to look about what's going to be after that. We have now a stretch of time where there are no holidays. We can really actually dedicate ourselves to programs that maybe do take some investment of time, effort, and money, and maybe this is the time to start thinking about it. No, it's not the time to think about it. It's the time to do something about it, because inaction costs more than action. So this is my message to you. And to help you, those who are still thinking about it, to help you come to a decision, or at least to give you some tips so that you can begin acting today, I want to invite you to a free lecture on how to make healthy choices in Israel, especially if you live here. But these really actually there will be information and tips that anybody, anywhere, Jewish or not, living in Israel or not, can really use to make healthier choices when it comes to what and how they're eating. I also want to say that a couple of slots have opened up to my exclusive one-on-one counseling program. The link is in the description below. The link to sign up for the free lecture is also in the description below. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, it's in the comments below. So please like this video, sign up to the free lecture, and if you really need some intense help to make a change, this is my mission, to help people get free from obsession around food, to experience the wonderful miracle that is sugar-free recovery. Have a happy Sukkot, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye-bye.